So today we will discuss the radial nerve. Okay, and this is deep branch of radial nerve, posterior interosseous nerve, which you will get nerve of the back of the forearm. Okay, back of the arm is done in your dissection. Everyone has seen back of the arm. Okay, so we will discussing the radial nerve. So radial nerve is also known as musculospiral nerve. Why musculospiral? Because it is supplying the muscles and it is also lying in the passing through the spiral groove. That's why this name is given musculospiral nerve. Okay, and it is the main nerve of the posterior compartment of the arm, forearm, and dorsum of the hand. And radial nerve is the continuation of the posterior cord of brachial plexus, and it has the root value of this C5 to C8 and T1, all the root values of the brachial plexus. Okay. So how it begins? It arises as continuation of the posterior cord of brachial plexus behind the third part of the axillary artery in the lower part of the axilla, and it is the largest branch of the brachial plexus. Okay. See, this is radial nerve. It is continuation of the posterior cord of brachial plexus. First, it is lying in the axilla. Then it is passing through the spiral groove here on the posterior aspect of the humerus. Spiral groove is passing downward and laterally, and it is passing along with the profunda brachii vessels. Okay. After that, it is piercing the lateral intermuscular septum and entering into the anterior compartment. Here it is dividing into two branches, superficial and deep branch, and superficial branch is supplying the skin, deep branch is going piercing the supinator muscle, entering into the posterior compartment of the forearm. Okay. So radial nerve begins in the lower part of the axilla. Here it begins, runs behind the axillary artery and for a short distance behind the upper part of the brachial artery. Radial nerve enters in the posterior compartment of the arm, here in the posterior compartment of the arm through the lower triangular space. This part is the lower triangular space. Lower triangular intermuscular space along with the profunda brachii artery. Okay. This is the course and relation. Radial nerve runs downward and laterally in the radial groove, pierces the lateral intermuscular septum to re-enter the anterior compartment of the arm. And here it lies under the cover of brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. Radial nerve divides into two branches, superficial branch and the posterior interosseous nerve or deep branch. Okay, so superficial branch and deep branch at just below the lateral epicondyle, it is dividing into these two branches. See here, this is radial nerve in the axilla. In the axilla, it is giving posterior cutaneous nerve of the arm and giving a branch to long head of triceps and another branch to medial head of triceps. So medial head of triceps is getting two branches, one in the axilla, one in the spiral groove. Now next in the radial groove, it is giving two cutaneous branches, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm and posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm. And these are the muscular branches to the lateral head of triceps and the medial head of triceps. And the branch to the medial head of triceps is going to supply the anconeus. Okay. Next, it is entering into the lateral part of the arm. Here it is supplying proprioceptive fibers to the brachialis muscle. Okay. Rest of the part of the brachialis muscle is supplied by the musculocutaneous nerve. We have already discussed. Next is the brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. And then it is dividing into two branches in the forearm just below the lateral epicondyle. And these two branches are deep branch, also known as posterior interosseous nerve, and the superficial branch. Okay, understood? So branches in the axilla. Here, this is schematic diagram. You practice a schematic diagram like this. Okay, for branches. Branches of radial nerve is important for your OSPE also. You have to identify the nerve and you will be asked what are the branches in the axilla, what are the branches in the spiral groove. All these are asked in your Viva and MCQs, also in OSPE practical. Okay. So in the axilla, it gives branches to the long and medial head of triceps brachii, and it gives a cutaneous branch, that is posterior cutaneous nerve of arm, for the skin on the back of the arm. Okay. Next, branches in the radial groove. Okay, it is giving branch to the lateral head of triceps brachii, branch to the medial head of triceps brachii, also called ulnar collateral nerve, as it lies close to the ulnar nerve. This branch to medial head of triceps, and branch to anconeus. Anconeus is supplied through its branch to the medial head of triceps. See here, this is the branch to medial head of triceps, and from here one branch is going to supply the anconeus in the forearm. Okay. And next are the two cutaneous branches, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm and posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm. Okay, these are the branches in the radial groove. Next are branches in the lower part of the arm, in the anterior compartment of the arm. Here in the lower part of the arm, it is giving branches to brachialis, brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, and it is also giving articular branch to the elbow joint. Okay. Next, we are going to terminal branches. Terminal branches are two. One is superficial branch, one is deep branch. So, superficial branch is sensory for the dorsum of the hand, posterior aspect of lateral 3.5 fingers. And deep branch is also known as posterior interosseous nerve. It pierces the supinator muscle, supplies all the remaining muscles of the posterior compartment of the forearm. Okay. Next, we are going to clinical aspect. Clinical aspects are very important for your explain why for radial nerve. Okay, crutch palsy or Saturday night palsy, very commonly given in your explain why. Okay, so clinical aspect is injuries to the radial nerve. Injury to the radial nerve produces signs and symptoms based on the site of injury. So first is injury in the axilla. If occurs, it will lead to Saturday night palsy. Okay. See here, this is Saturday night palsy. Here, radial nerve is compressed by the backrest of the chair in the spiral groove or in near the axilla. Okay. And this is crutch palsy. Crutch is giving pressure here on the arm and it is being paralyzed at the level of spiral groove or near the axilla. So what will be the symptoms? You have to know the symptoms. So it occurs due to sleeping on armchair with limb hanging by the side of the chair or by pressure of the crutch. Okay, this is the main cause of this Saturday night palsy and results in loss of extension of the forearm and weakness of supination, because supinator is supplied by radial nerve and also these extensor muscles of the forearm are supplied by the deep branch of the radial nerve. So all the muscle will be paralyzed, so loss of extension. Then loss of extension of the wrist and fingers, wrist drop will be there. Okay, loss of sensation in the lower and lateral posterior aspect of the arm, lower lateral cutaneous nerve of the arm, and posterior aspect of the forearm and hand, and lateral 3.5 fingers. All those cutaneous branches are coming from the radial nerve, those will be paralyzed, so all there will be sensory loss in this region. Crutch palsy, and this is Saturday night palsy. Okay. And see the symptoms. Sensory loss will be in this area for posterior cutaneous nerve of arm. here for lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, here for the posterior cutaneous nerve of forearm, and here for the superficial branch of radial nerve. All these area you will get sensory loss, okay? And this is wrist drop, loss of extension of the wrist because forearm extensor muscles are paralyzed. Also loss of supination due to paralysis of the supinator. Now injury in the radial group. So Saturday night palsy occurs due to injury in the axilla. Okay. Now if injury in the radial group, all the above sign symptoms except medial and long head of triceps are observed because they were given in the axilla. Okay. So weakness of extension of the elbow. So this is summarization of the radial nerve. It begins as branch of posterior cord of brachial plexus. These are the root values. Root values are very important. C5 to C8 and T1. Course of the nerve, first it lies posterior to the axillary and brachial artery and then passes through the lower triangular space, then runs in the spiral groove, pierces the lateral intermuscular septum and lies deep to the brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. Okay, and it is giving branches in the axilla. Axilla, it is giving branch to long and medial head of triceps and posterior cutaneous nerve of arm. In the spiral groove, medial and lateral head of triceps and to the elbow joint. And in the giving the terminal branches, two terminal branches, superficial branch and the deep branch. Okay. So these are the branches. So radial nerve you prepare as a short note or part of the long question it will be given. Okay. And Saturday night palsy, crutch palsy you prepare for your explain why question. Understood? So some facts, radial nerve divides into two terminal branches, superficial and deep, in front of the lateral epicondyle. This level is important asked in your OSPE and Viva, okay, where the nerve divides. Deep branch of radial nerve pierces the supinator muscle, enters in the posterior compartment of forearm and where it continues as the posterior interosseous nerve. And the superficial branch of radial nerve runs under cover of the brachioradialis. This point is important for identifying the nerve during your dissection. Okay, so superficial branch of radial nerve lies under cover of the brachioradialis muscle. Okay, and in the middle of the forearm, this nerve is accompanied by the radial artery. Okay, you will see during the dissection class. Superficial branch in the lower part of forearm winds around the radius to enter the posterior compartment of the forearm. Okay. So next we are going to posterior interosseous nerve. This also comes as a short note, posterior interosseous nerve. Okay. It is the deep branch of the radial nerve that arises in the cubital fossa under the cover of the brachioradialis, just in front of the lateral condyle of the humerus, lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Okay. How it terminates? It has a pseudoganglion opposite the wrist. Okay. Here at this region there will be a pseudoganglion. This is posterior interosseous nerve. It is supplying all the extension muscles of the back of the forearm and at back of the wrist it will have a pseudoganglion and opposite the wrist and ends by supplying the wrist and the intercarpal joints. Okay, this is how it terminates. This is one schematic diagram for the posterior interosseous nerve. You can practice this diagram. So deep branch, radial nerve is dividing at the junction of arm and forearm into superficial and deep branch. Superficial branch have only sensory supply to the dorsum of the hand, lateral 3.5. Okay. And the deep branch is also known as posterior interosseous nerve. It is supplying the extensor carpi radialis brevis, supinator, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris. These are the superficial group and these are the deep group. Abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis. Okay. And opposite to the wrist there is a pseudoganglion After that, it will supply the wrist joint and intercarpal joints and it will end. Okay. So this is the schematic diagram of the posterior interosseous nerve. Here it is giving the branches. See here, radial nerve. Here it is giving brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus. Like this you will see in the dissection. Okay. It is giving superficial branch and deep branch. Superficial branch which lie under cover of the brachioradialis. Okay. Deep branch will supply the supinator and enter into the supinator muscle and continues as the posterior interosseous nerve, and it is going to supply the extensor group of muscle, extensor digitorum, other superficial extensor, and these are the deep extensors. Superficial extensor have been cut. Extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digiti minimi, extensor digitorum, and after that it will supply all the deep extensors, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor indicis, and lastly it will form a pseudoganglion back of the wrist, supply the wrist joint and the intercarpal joints. So branches are, we are dividing it before piercing supinator, within the supinator, after piercing supinator. Okay. So before piercing the supinator, it is giving muscular branch to extensor carpi radialis brevis and supinator. Within the supinator, it is supplying the supinator only. And after emerging from the supinator, it is supplying extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris, and the deep muscles abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis. And it is giving articular branches to wrist joint, distal radioulnar joint, intercarpal joint, and intermetacarpal joints. Okay, so all these are supply giving articular branches to all these joints. Okay, so this is the summarization of posterior interosseous nerve. Beginning is, it is the deep branch of the radial nerve. Course, it pierces the supinator muscle and lies between the superficial and deep extensor muscles. Okay, so pierces supinator lies between the two groups of extensor muscles, superficial and deep. And it is giving branches before supinator to the extensor carpi radialis brevis and the supinator, within the supinator to the supinator muscle, and after emerging from the supinator, it is giving branch to these muscles, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris. These are the superficial group of muscle, and deep group includes this abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis. Okay, so these are the branches of posterior interosseous nerve. Okay, so that's all. And for clinical aspect, you have to know those two, Saturday night palsy and crutch palsy. So any queries from this topic? No queries? Okay, so you prepare short note for radial nerve and posterior interosseous nerve and explain why you have to know those clinical aspects. Okay, so everyone write down a short note on radial nerve and its branches. Okay, write in a paper, submit it to Avinas. Okay, after that you can leave.